Hello class, I hope all is well. Today we're going to be doing continual line drawing. Our subject matter is going to be interior space. I want you to work on 18 by 24 inch newsprint and have yourself a charcoal pencil, okay? The charcoal pencil, the compressed charcoal sticks, either one of those will be fine. So, over the weekend I had you do a couple practice blind contour drawings where you were not looking at your drawing, you were mostly focused on the observation. That's what we're going to be putting into practice today. So, I want you to set a timer. Set a timer on your cell phone. Let me do mine real quick. Okay? 5 minutes. And what you want to do before you start those 5 minutes is you want to make sure that you're set up in a way where you're facing a corner of a room. So this is scenes from the print shop. And you want to make sure that you're set up in a way where you don't have to look around your easel. You can basically just look and draw. And you can see both your drawing and what you're observing without having to move or tilt your head or body. Okay? So I'm going to turn this a little bit to the side. I'm going to put this here so you can see my drawing. And I'm going to start my timer here in a minute. So this is from my vantage point. This is what I am seeing. Okay? Start my timer, 5 minutes. Go. So, continual line. I want you to place. Now let's see where I want to start. I'm going to start down here at the bottom. I can really start anywhere. Maybe I'll start up here with the press that I see. So continual line drawing. What I want you to do in this drawing is just that. Continual line, meaning that you do not take your hand off your paper. You just follow what you're drawing, and you're just drawing, you're trying to find the forms, you're trying to find the volumes. I'm not too worried about value, well, I can pick some of that up later, but I'm not lifting my hand off of the drawing. And notice how I'm keeping it moving. I'm not really stopping. I'm just trusting my eyes and what I see. I am looking at the drawing though. I'm looking at the drawing, but I would say 80% of my concentration is going towards what I'm observing here. Again, don't lift the pencil off the paper. You can draw over the lines. Like if I need to go over here, connect that line. The drying rack that's in the room. This is also a little bit of a gesture drawing, meaning I'm just trying to get the gist. Just trying to get the gist of what I'm drawing. You know, I'm not looking for every single detail, but I am trying to get everything addressed. All right, so there's the press, there's the drying rack. Maybe I'll start to look at the background. There's another press here in the background. So maybe I'll draw this a little bit lighter so it appears like it's in the distance. Still keeping that pencil moving. Your arm should be getting a little bit tired at this point. Just keep it going, 5 minutes. 5 minutes of continual study. There's a shelf in the background. And you can always go back and work back over, you know, and refine some things. So this has a blanket. Okay. Roughly a minute left. You know, put some values down. You know. Said we're doing a real quick studies. Oh, lifted my pencil there. It's okay, just pick up where you left off. All right, that's time. All right, so there's my drawing of the print room. Here's kind of what I was looking at, okay? Is it perfect? No. There's more right than wrong in the composition, but it's, you know, like I said, it's a quick study, a quick sketch, quick warm-up. Switch over to a horizontal. So you can just flip your sheet, flip the paper over, and this time I'm going to do this way. You get some tape for this composition. Okay, so this is another scene from the print shop. What you're going to do this time is you're going to put your paper in a horizontal format. You're going to point yourself towards another corner of a room. Make sure you have plenty of things in the room to draw. Because 5 minutes is going to get pretty boring if there's not a lot to draw. And we're going to do the same thing. 5 minutes, continual line drawing, trying to keep that pencil stuck to the paper like a magnet, and you're just moving it around as your eyes move around all the objects. All right, so now I'm going to move the camera over here so you can see my drawing, and I'm going to do another 5 minutes, starting right now. Okay, so let's take a look at my drawing here. Like I said, this is a really sketchy drawing. Okay, so here's my two drawings. It's the first one I did with the vertical composition. And I drew on the back the second composition. So now we're going to talk about what I want you to do next. I want you to get set up with another piece of newsprint. I want you to pick which format you preferred. If you want to draw, because we're going to do another longer session drawing that's not a continual line drawing. It's more of a finished drawing. So I think I'm going to go with this drawing. So I'm going to go back to my same area and set up. If I preferred this one, then I would go back and set up in the other same spot. But I want you to do one of those two compositions, okay? This drawing is going to be for the rest of class, okay? This drawing is going to be for the rest of class. Just draw a newsprint for this one, it's fine. And I want you to start with this material. This is the willow charcoal. It's a little thin little stick, and this is what I want you to use. You can break it in half, something like this. This is what I want you to use. I just want you to use this for the beginning of the drawing, and you're going to see why. All right, so I'm going to rely on those continual line studies. to get this drawing started. It's not necessary that you tone your paper. We can tone the paper as we go. So right now, I'm just going to draw real quickly, maybe not 5 minutes, but just a quick study of the composition again. With the willow charcoal. Sometimes it's called vine charcoal. Vine, willow. It's a really light material, so it won't go very dark, and you'll see why that's a good thing here in just a second. So let's say I make a mistake like I just did there. What's nice about the willow vine charcoal, what's good about it is you can just wipe it away pretty easily. It doesn't stick to the paper very well. That's both its strength and its weakness. The reason why it's a weakness is because if you're doing a drawing with this material, what'll happen is it'll keep wiping away as you draw. So that's why you only want to use it for what we're doing here, where I'm just kind of planning the drawing a little bit. Planning the drawing before I commit to the drawing. I don't want you to commit to the drawing too early, because that's how drawings get really far off. You immediately, when you as the artist go, that's kind of close enough, or the first thing you draw and you're like, I'll go off that. You got to always kind of remain a little bit skeptical. You got to be a little bit loose at the beginning and hone things in as you go along. What I want you to find is more right than wrong. If more than right is going on in the drawing, then you can work from there. If something's too far off, then it's just best to, you can always start another drawing. Or you can also just, like if you're drawing really light, you can easily just wipe it away. And that's why this material is a good material to use for going forward. Okay, so let's say I don't like any of it. I can just wipe it away. There will still be a little bit of remnants of it, but for the most part, I can get rid of almost all of it. I can get most of it away where it's not distracting me, so I can just draw over it. So maybe I want to focus more on the can instead. So maybe this time I'll just draw the can. Like I said, I'm just planning the drawing at this stage. So maybe the wheel is up here. See how I'm kind of using those same kind of techniques as far as like continual line drawing. I'm keeping very active in the drawing process. I'm being more focused on observation at this point. Observation of the overall look of everything, the overall placement, not details. Maybe I'll bring this a little bit lower. Here's the point that I want to get to. So I can use this to kind of map everything out, right? Use this material to map everything out. At a certain point, when you feel like you have your drawing close to the composition you want, and things are, maybe you've got the proportions figured out, you got some of the shapes figured out, then it's time to move on to either your charcoal pencil, charcoal with a K, start using my charcoal pencil, compressed charcoal sticks, and then you can start, adding some value in the drawing. You can start using the charcoal pencil to start maybe go over some of those lines. You go over some of those lines that you already established with the willow charcoal. What you don't want to do is go back to the willow charcoal, because like I said, if you keep working with it, your drawing's going to fall off the page. That's why you need this, because it sticks to the paper. Okay? So then from this point on, I just want you to treat it like any of the drawings we've done so far. So you want to think about values, tones, defining edges, working from dark to light and light to dark. If I wanted to tone some of the paper now down, I can do that as I move along. Like even like this can, I'll add a little bit of tone, you know, then maybe I'll go back, add a little bit more where I need it. This drawing is just going to be for today, okay? So this is a 3-hour drawing, or whatever's left of class, you know, 2 hours, 30 minutes. So what I want you to focus on is getting the most complete drawing that you can achieve in that amount of time. So there's only a certain amount of detail, but I want everything addressed, corner to corner. I want backgrounds, middle ground, and foreground. So taking this drawing forward, this is what I would do. I would start building up the values. I would start blending some of this in, start defining some of the shapes. I know it looks like a mess right now, but like I said, drawings, they start out, don't try to get the lightness right off the bat. Just identify shapes, shadows, light, okay? And then you slowly just hone it in with detail and tightening up the drawing as you go along, okay? Don't be afraid to just, every once in a while, if something's not looking, you know, quite sharp, or you just want to add some more atmosphere to the drawing, you know, just blend it in a little bit and then work back over it. Tighten it back up. You know, drawing charcoal, it's different than other mediums, like, you know, if you're drawing with ink or if you're drawing with graphite. There is a lot of push and pull, okay, with charcoal drawing. There's a lot of working things darker, working back lighter. So that's the assignment for today, okay? So draw everything you see. All right,